Hi everyone, this is Rosa Kelly. So today I'm here to share with you a new super easy tutorial. This is going to be a large 10 by 10 6 signatures album. It's going to be fun, so let's get right to it. So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Like I said, I'm super excited to share with you a new 10 by 10 tutorial. I've been requested to do large albums so many times and I finally got around to make this one. This album is going to be a blank base. You guys can decorate it any way you like. Also, I like doing blank bases because you can refer to the tutorial and then we can take it from there and do decorating. We can do add-ons and just fun things like that. So for this album, we are going to be needing 2 pieces of 10 by 10 medium weight chipboard. Also, I'm going to do 1 piece of 10 by 3.5. This album is going to be white. You can of course do black, craft color, cardstock, anything you like really. But make sure that you select 2 different types of cardstock. We are going to need 65-pound cardstock, which is your normal cardstock paper. And this is going to be mainly for our binding and for our hinges. And then we're going to be using some heavyweight cardstock. You can either do 110 or 80 pound, and basically these are going to be for the pages. So you want something a little bit more sturdy and more solid, so the pages are not flimsy as they will be with these type of cardstock. So the first thing that I'm going to do is cut one of my 12 by 12 pieces right on half at 6 inches. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of glue and join 2 of the 12 by 12 pieces together, just like this. And then we're also going to join this other piece that we cut in half. So I'm just gonna add some more glue on this side, just like this. And we are going to add the next piece, like so. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is grab my chipboard pieces that I already went ahead and add my tape to this. So I added some double-sided tape on one of the sides, as you can see. So I'm just going to add this chipboard into the base. So I'm gonna place it somewhere in the middle here. Okay, so we're just gonna add that right there. Then I'm going to add each one of the sides, and we're gonna make sure to stay about 1/4 inch away from the other chipboard piece. So I'm just gonna peel off all of this tape, just like that. And this album is large, so it's a little bit hard to fit it all in frame for the camera, but I'm gonna try my best. So we're gonna leave a little bit of spacing in between these 2 pieces, and I'm just gonna place these down like that. Okay, there you go. And now I'm going to do the same on the other side. So now I'm going to cut the corners of the white cardstock all around, just to avoid having a little bit of extra bulk. So I'm just gonna do this really quick on all sides, just like that. And then I'm going to start by folding the cardstock. So then I'm going to use my double-sided tape and I'm going to simply add it on all of the sides. Let me cut this off. Okay, and I'm going to start with the large side. I'm just simply going to peel this off, just like that. And then we're gonna press it down. And there you go. Now we're gonna repeat the same step on all of the sides. And there you go. Now we have all 4 sides. And what I like to do is just press down here on the little gap to make sure that the cardstock will bend where it needs to bend and it's not going to bubble up anywhere else. And there you go. So now I'm going to put this aside for now, and we are going to work on the hinges. For the hinges, we are going to use 2 pieces of 9 inches by 12, and I'm going to score at 2 inches, and then I'm going to score at 2.5 for the first gusset, and then we're going to do 3.25, 4.5, 5.25, 6 inches, 6.5, 7.25, 8 inches, 8.5, 9.25, 10 inches, 10.5, and 11.25. On the second piece, I'm going to start at 1/2 inch, and I'm going to do 1 inches, and then I'm going to do 1 3/4 and 2.5, and then I'm going to do another score at 3 inches and another score at 5 inches. And this 5 inches is where we're going to trim off this piece. So let me just grab my paper cutter and just cut on this last score line. So I'm going to start by joining together the 2 3/4 inch pieces that we have. So we are just going to pinch the paper and create this little heel, and then I'm going to go ahead and press down and give it a good fold, just like that. Then we're gonna skip the 1/2 inch and do the same to all of these 3/4 inches. So we have the first piece. I'm not gonna glue this yet because I am going to show you how we're going to connect these 2 pieces. So on the second piece, you have the 2 1/2 inch. We're gonna leave that alone for now, and we're going to pinch together the next 2 3/4 inches. Okay, so this is going to be our last hinge. And then you see these 2 1/2 inches. I'm going to fold the first one along the score line there, and this little 1/2 inch is going to connect with the last hinge on the first piece. So basically what I'm going to do is just insert this one here before I glue it, and then just glue the whole piece like this. So we want to have this little 1/2 inch inside this hinge there. I hope that is clear, and I do it like this because that way it's a lot better. It's not going to come undone once it's glued into the binding system. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this over. So now I'm just going to add my glue on these 3/4 inches. And you can of course use tape if you like. I feel like glue it's a little bit more strong for this step. Okay, so I'm gonna do one at a time. We just need to add glue on one of the sides. You don't want to put too much glue either, otherwise your paper or your cardstock is going to wrinkle a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna do one at a time. Like that. And for the last one that we're going to connect with the other piece, I'm gonna add a little bit of glue on one side, and I'm going to add the other piece here. Okay, just like that. And then once these 2 are joined into one, I'm going to go ahead and add glue so we can close this hinge just like we did the other ones. Okay, press down, and then we're going to do the last hinge that's on the second piece. Okay, so just like that. So there you go. Now we have our hinges ready. Now before I add this into my binding, I'm going to add double-sided tape on each one of the hinges. Now I'm going to add one on each side, and now I'm gonna flip that over and do the other side. Notice that when we do the hinges, the tape on the hinges, you want to be close to your outside edge instead of your inside edge. There will be about a 1/4 inch that you won't have any tape, and you're just gonna leave that area empty, and that's just basically going to be the spacing so our pages will open flat. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue adding my tape, and I'll be right back. So now we're ready to add the hinges into our binding. For that, I'm also going to be using glue, and you can use tape or anything you like. You can even use a combination of the two. I just really like how this glue works, and I think so far it's been working great for me. My spines never come apart, so I like that. Okay, so I'm going to add a gentle amount of glue, as you can see, and make sure you have glue especially around the sides where the binding is going to bend. And then I'm going to just simply line up the score lines on the sides to these little gaps in your spine, which I call the bending points. Okay, also you want to make sure that you are straight, parallel to the bottom edge right there. And now that we have it where we want it, I'm going to press it down. And this is another reason why I like using tape, because you can slightly adjust it. I mean, glue instead of tape. With the tape, you kind of have to know exactly where you're going to position it. Otherwise, you can't really move it afterwards. Okay, so I'm just pressing down on each gusset here to make sure that it is glued completely. Okay, so now I let my glue dry for a little bit here, and I'm going to just simply use my ruler. Since we already pre-scored these sides, I'm just gonna press down here to make sure it falls on the right location, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side as well. I'm just gonna hold it right there, and my score lines align perfectly to the bending lines. But if yours don't, sometimes it might be a little bit off, then you want to just hold your ruler and give it a quick score to make sure that it will fold where you want it to fold. Okay, so now I'm going to put these aside, and we are going to do the pages. So now I'm going to use 2 pieces of 9 3/4 by 9 3/4, and we are gonna glue this down on the inside covers. The purpose of me doing this is because I want to make sure my hinges are very secure. So this is just an extra layer to make sure that this is not gonna come out and your pages are not gonna be falling. So I'm just gonna use my glue again and simply add these. So now for the pages, we are going to need 6 pieces of 9 1/2 by 9 1/2. So let's cut one together here, and then we're also going to need 6 pieces of 9 1/2 by 10 1/2. So let me go ahead and do 9 1/2 and 10 1/2. So then we're going to score the 10 1/2 inch sides at 1/2 inch and 10 inches. Then we're gonna fold along the score lines and add double-sided tape. So now we're going to line up these two pages. I have my double-sided tape on both sides. We're gonna grab the other piece that measures 9.5 by 9.5, and we are going to place this right on top. Now first you want to line up all the corners the best you can, and then we're going to hold down on the center and remove the tape. So I'm going to start by removing just a section of the tape and pressing down on the corner, making sure that all my edges are straight and aligned. And then I'm going to go ahead and remove my tape like that. Then we're going to turn this around. Hold down on your center because you don't want your page to bubble up like this. Hold down your center and remove the other piece of tape on the other side, just like that. And now we have the first base page. We are going to need 6 of these. So now I have all of my 6 base pages ready. I'm gonna put these aside for now, and we are going to cut some pages. So I'm going to cut 6 pieces of 9.5 by 9.5, and I'm going to do 6 because each one of my signatures is going to take one large flap. I want to make sure that this album is going to have a large capacity for photos. So I'm going to do 6 of these, like I said, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch each one of those. And then we're going to fold along the score lines. So now we're going to add these 9.5 by 9.5 pieces into the bases, like I said. So there are many ways that you can do this. We can add one along the left, or we can do it along the top. Okay, so I'm going to be doing 3 along one of the sides where you have the insert opening on your sides, and I'm going to be doing 3 where I have the flap opening along the top where it's closed. Okay, that way we have some different layouts into our album. So I have my 6 pages. Like I said, some have the flap opening along the top, and this one also along the top, and some have it opening along the sides. It doesn't matter which side you do, because when you add the pages, you can either add it this way or you can add it this way. So I have a couple of those, and then I also did one option where I have one of these flaps on one side and one on the other side, creating even more spaces for pictures. So then I'm going to do another set of pages at 8.5 by 8.5. So I'm going to be doing 4 of these, and I'm also going to score at 1/2 inch on one of the sides. So I'm going to be folding along the score lines again for all of these 4 pieces. So I went ahead and added my double-sided tape, and what we're going to be doing with these pieces is adding them into our base page. Now here is the first piece that we add, the larger one. So this smaller one can go on the other side. That way you have kind of like uneven pages on one, one is larger than the other, and once you add the paper, this type of layout looks really interesting. I really like having uneven pages like that. So I'm going to just line up these along the side of the page and just remove the tape like we did before. So now we have this layout. Another thing that we can do with these pages, I'm going to grab another page. So for the next one, I'm going to, instead of using the side with the flap, I'm going to use the opposite side. And another thing that we can do is add 2 on one side. So I'm going to fold 2 pieces here, and for this layout we are going to add 1 on each side like this. So as you can see on this layout, I added 1 on each one of the sides, and now I'm going to put this one aside and work on the next one. For this next layout, I'm going to grab two pieces of 12 by 12 again, and I'm going to cut these pieces at 6 inches by 6 inches. So I'm creating small layouts, so it's always good to have large and small options to play around with your papers, your picture sizes. It makes the album more dynamic like that. So then I'm going to score at 1/2 inch each one of the pieces. So we're gonna fold these ones at the score line again, and then we're gonna add them into our pages. So I'm going to show you different options using these smaller 6 by 6 pieces. I'm going to grab 2 of them and I'm going to add them into the next base page, and I'm simply going to do this with glue. I'm gonna center it on the top, just like that. And then I'm going to put one on the bottom. Okay, so we're creating like a little gatefold on the center that you can actually add a magnet and keep close. There you go. So the way I did this one, it opens up and down, because when you see the page on the back, this is the one that has the 2 openings, and it has the insert on this side, and then on the opposite side we have these flaps up and down. You can definitely do also side to side. So I'm gonna bring the next one over. Now this one, I'm going to make sure I have the orientation, the insert on the sides, and we are going to put these 2 side to side. So I'm gonna add them here. I'm going to do one on the top, and then we're going to do the other one on the bottom. That way it's just kind of like a different fun layout. There's so many ways that you can set these on your pages. I'm just giving you a couple of ideas, but you can just have fun creating your own layouts. Okay, so I'm going to do one up and one down. And then for the next one, I'm going to actually do like a crisscross on using all 4 of these. So I'm going to do 2 on the top and 2 on the sides. So I'm going to start with this side right here. Okay, and then we're going to do the bottom. Make sure that we are lining this up with the top, just like this. Okay, and then we're going to do the next 2. So these are going to be one on the side, and make sure that you are centered this to the top and bottom. And then we're going to do the next one on the opposite side. So the next thing that we are going to create is a pocket. We're gonna actually do a couple pockets. We're gonna have one for the last page and one for the inside covers as well. I love incorporating pockets because that's just a lot more storage. You can add photo mats, you can add just simply all kinds of pictures, tags, anything you like. So I'm going to cut one piece. I'm actually going to cut this at 10.5 first. And then we are going to cut these at 6 inches. Okay, so these are gonna be large, deep pockets. I'm going to score these 2 pieces at 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So we're going to do 1/2 inch, turn it around and do 1/2 inch, and we're gonna do 1/2 inch again. And then we are going to trim the corners. I like doing that way your pocket is not bulky. So I'm just gonna cut that, and here we have the shape of the pocket. We're going to do the same on the other piece. So now we're gonna fold along the score lines of our pockets, and we are going to add one into our page here. Now you can of course make more pockets if you like doing pockets. They're a great way to add more room for pictures. Now we also have options with the pockets. We can look at the orientation, how the page is going to be inserted, and you can do it on the bottom or you can do it on the side like that, depending you know, if you can do one pocket on each direction to create more just fun elements to your album. So I'm going to do this one along the bottom. Actually, let's do the side. Let's do a side pocket, and then we'll do a bottom pocket on the inside covers of the album. So I'm just gonna add my glue for the pocket, just like that, and just like that. And I like doing glue because that way you can adjust it and make sure that it is on the right place. Pockets sometimes get a little tricky when we're adding them into the album. Okay, so I'm just gonna press down and press down on this side as well. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one aside, and I'm going to bring my binder back, and I'm going to add the other pockets on the back, on the inside back cover right here. Okay, so now it's time to add our pages into the book, and this is actually the fun part because you can pick and choose how you want your layouts to look. So the first thing we're gonna do is find the opening side like this, and then I kind of want this layout to be my first page, and then we're gonna pick the second one, and since this one here it's playing on the back, I'm going to find something that is fun on the other side, which I think it will be this page here. So let's see. Okay, so then again you're gonna find your insert side, and so I'm just gonna continue picking my pages. This one will be a good next one here, and then I probably need something that goes up and down, since here we have something that goes to the side. And then on the back I have these 4 openings. This one also, actually this is the one that both pages open, so I might leave that one to the end, and then I will do this one here. Okay, and this is the one that has my pockets to the side, so that's kind of, that works out good like that. And then here I'm gonna have these 2 large layouts, and on the back we have these 2 openings. Actually, let's do the other way around. Let's do the openings here and the back layout at the end. Okay, so again, you can pick and choose whichever way you like to add your pages. You can even repeat layouts, pick whichever is your favorite, create your own, just have fun creating. So what I'm going to do is remove a portion of my tape here to the side, find the center again, and we're gonna start from the bottom and just add it in here. Make sure that we have it centered up and down, and then we are going to press down on that sticky side and take off this tape. Then we're gonna turn this over and take off the tape on the back side like that. And I'm just gonna remove the whole tape, and then we're gonna continue adding all of the pages the same way. So there you go. Now we are done with our album. I really hope that you guys enjoy this quick and easy tutorial. I will have written instructions with detailed pictures of how I make this album if you would like a PDF version of it, and it will be on my website. So I'm gonna have the link down below. And so yeah, I really hope you guys give it a try. If you do give it a try, don't forget to tag me on Facebook or Instagram. I always love to see your complete projects. I also do have blank albums available for purchase on my website. Those are custom made to order, so you can pick your size, your number of pages, and the color as well. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you on the next video.